Going on to all of my Scorpios out there. So let's get into it. Also, too, taking into consideration for all my old subscribers and my new subscribers, I'm writing another book. I'm gonna start it today. So, like I said, have a lot to achieve. All right, let's get into it. So, for you Scorpios, you have the Star, Ace of Swords, Hierophant, Ten of Cups, High Priestess, the Strength, the Knight of Swords, King of Cups, the Temperance, and you have the Four of Swords for you Scorpios. Okay, so the major arcana for Scorpio would be Death or the Tower. Obviously, you didn't get that. However, let's get into this. So you have the Star, the Ace of Swords, and the Hierophant. This is about how a lot of you Scorpios right now need to understand that what you've got going on here is a situation for yourself where you you have someone who very much so is interested in you, but a lot of you Scorpios may not know if they're the best pick. And the reason why it is, and I'm saying that in the first place, is because the Ace of Swords and the Hierophant is about you just kind of paying attention to what kind of other possibilities is out there, right? You're trying to figure it out. You want to know what's the best that people have, right? You're also kind of, how do I say this, you want to find the best type of person that you can get, but it's more so from a perspective of uh you want someone that isn't a piece of stuff, right? um and the Hierophant just represents how that's what it is that you really want, but a lot of you Scorpios can't necessarily find that. Not necessarily because they don't exist, but because a lot of that is kind of rare in that regard. So the thing is that the Ten of Cups and the High Priestess, the Ten of Cups and the High Priestess represents how this is a situation for you where what you got to do next is um maybe I'll say this. Maybe you Scorpios may not necessarily want anything with them, but they don't see it like that. So this is about them pretty much kind of thinking that the two of you would be a perfect match together. Now, the Ten of Cups and the High Priestess is not necessarily a very good combination per se, because this means for you Scorpios that this person is developing a strong sense of obsession with you. Okay. They're developing a very powerful sense of wanting to belong with you. And that breeds obsession. And when you have obsession with trauma, what you have is stalking. So a lot of times people think that the High Priestess is about a secret admirer. No, the High Priestess, because I told y'all, and for the new subscribers here, these types of cards like the High Priestess, the Devil, Lovers, these are trickery cards. And what I mean by that is that it actually is inverted. So it's not the way you think. There's there's a kind of a puzzle that you need to kind of figure out. Otherwise, you'll be dumped into the tunnels of Set. And if you don't know what the tunnels of Set is, the tunnels of Set spiritually is a very not so nice place, and you can end up becoming fragmented that way. um so to not get too deep into that, that's a whole other video for another day. This is not what you think. You see a person who's mild mannered and this is actually the person, not specifically the person or the art of this, but more so what it actually means is that this is the card of the stalker. So it's not a secret admirer that you've got going on. This is a person who has got it in their mind. And then you have the Ten of Cups. This is a person who's got it in their mind that happiness is with you, and they don't want to see you with anybody. And that can become a little bit obsessive. That can that can become obsessive. That is obsessive, because then they don't want to deal with the fact that, you Scorpios got your own thing going on, right? They don't like that. So then the things that now you have the strength card. If you didn't have any kind of problems with them, or maybe you did have problems, maybe they're a little bit too smothering, maybe they contacted you a little bit too much, it may get worse. It may get worse, because the strength card represents now they're starting to play into that, where now they're going to lean into this ideology that they want you, and that they will do anything as necessary in order to have you. Then you have the Knight of Swords. They've made up their mind that they want you and they will have you. And if your Scorpios don't see that, how much they want you and they would be the best partner for you, then they will demonstrate or show you how much they will show you how much they want you, and that how good of a couple you Scorpios could potentially be. Now Scorpio is actually the zodiac sign of the stalker. Now, most people would think, oh, the Scorpio would be stalking them. And sometimes, and see, the Scorpio more than likely will, if they do that, will do that based upon if they really know that you're a good catch and they know that they messed up, or things between you and them didn't necessarily go well, right, Scorpio? Don't blame me for telling your secrets. I have to do it because I'm an astrologer, right? It's what I do. But at the same time, again, and I want to reiterate this: your zodiac sign doesn't necessarily mean what you do all the time. It also can represent what you get back in return too. So, for instance, for you Scorpios, as much as the zodiac sign of Scorpio can represent stalking, this could also mean potentially too that you can get stalked too. So, people who have Scorpio in their chart, there's a possibility that you can get stalked too. People who have Taurus in their chart, it's a possibility that you can get stalked. So, if you don't do those certain things, it could also mean that, because of your zodiac sign, it could also mean that people tend have a tendency to return that kind of energy onto you. Now, the King of Cups and the Temperance represents this being a situation for you where, so what's next? What's next is that, since you saw this video, what's next is you can always call them up, find out what they're doing, and kind of hang out with them and have a discussion with them, and let them know that you didn't mean to tell them off so harshly. It's just that you don't want to date, and explain to them why, tell them why. It could also represent that you don't want to tell them anything, but the Four of Swords is that, again, you don't you don't want that kind of energy around you, right? Where you have someone who's really stalking you, who's really paying attention to what you've got going on very closely, that closely. Then you have the Four of Swords. This would give them a peace of mind, right? Because part of what creates stalking is the idea that a person, the projection that a person has onto a situation, where it's, you would never want to be with me, I want you, but you would never want to be with me, and that there's no way that you would be into me. So what can I do to show and prove that I really am sincere and I really am for real? And that's, depending on how obsessive they get with it, that's where things can end up turning into a much more dark turn. So let's clarify the Temperance. So you have the Four of Cups, excuse me, Two of Cups, the Star card, you have the Nine of Pentacles, and you have the Seven of Pentacles. So this is a card right here based upon this being a situation for you where what you've got going on is the Two of Cups, the Star, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles. This is about how, and you see how it is that the angel on the card has two cups in it. Then you have the Two of Cups here, which the angel is holding. This represents you and them more than likely having a conversation. Or you could, that's one of your options. You could have a conversation with that person, tell them why you don't want to be with them, tell them that, you know, you don't necessarily want a relationship. But it has to be truthful, though, because if you lie to them, that's the thing about stalkers. They do their research. I'll give them that. So if it has to be real, it has to be a legitimate reason why you don't want to rock with them, right? The star card represent here, but also too, let them know that even if you still want to date and it's just not them, let them know what it is. It's the fact that they are stalking you, and that, you know, they don't understand to have respect for uh freedom, right? And and free will, and tell them that, you know, if they want you to choose them, it has to be a process. It can't be something where, they challenge your free will. Then you have the Nine of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles. The Nine and the Seven of Pentacles is all about how you Scorpios too. This person may act like they're not listening to you, but they very much so are. It's just that, again, they just see you as so boss, or they see you as they think of the world of you. They think the world of you to the point where they're just kind of thinking about, well, if you Scorpios don't want them, that it means that they're just finished in the dating pool. Because for you Scorpios right now at this moment, you Scorpios is it. You're it. So now let's clarify the King of Cups. Matter of fact, let's clarify the High Priestess, because I talked so much about the High Priestess. Let's clarify it so I can give y'all a better understanding of it. So you have the Three of Wands, Five of Cups, Ten of Wands, the Knight of Swords. So the Three of Wands is, you may not be paying attention to this, but you're handling your own business, living your life. Again, these people are thinking about what you've got going on, and the fact that you're not in their life, and maybe you didn't want to be with them, hang out with them, or maybe you wanted some space, which is the same as a breakup, right? Well, I say this, it really depends, right? It really depends. Like, maybe the person is a little bit too clingy, and part of why you could be asking for space is you just want this person to overall generally not see and talk to you every single day, right? And that can be difficult for some people to take. Some people may take that personally, you know what I mean? Some people may think, they may go to the extremes, and they may think, oh, well, what, so you don't want to rock with me? And it's like, that's not what it is I'm saying. There's 7 days in a week. Do you have to speak to, like, we're not living together, right? Do I have to see or speak to you 7 days out of the week, right? People have things to do, people to see, places to go. Um, so, well, I should say some of us do, right? Not knocking the people who don't. But the point is that that's kind of the point, though. If you're a well-to-do individual that's kind of on the up and up, but is not a jerk or like oppressive to other people, then kind of time management is kind of the point. Because now it's like, well, if I have to see you every single day, sometimes my schedule or the things that I need to get done for that day is not necessarily going to be conducive to seeing you every single day. So can you just chill out two days out of the week or something like this to just let me cool off, breathe, and then absence will make the heart grow fonder. But then again, too, sometimes people take that very offensively, and then they go to the extreme, and it's like, oh, all this other stuff, and how could you say this? There's that type of space where it's innocent, right? Where you really do just want some extra, you really do just want some days out of the week every week especially if you don't live with the person, which I don't suggest that you do. And there's sciences based off of why I say that. But and maybe I'll make a YouTube video talking about that. Maybe not, right? It just depends. So the things that the Ten of Wands and the the Ten of Wands and the Knight of Swords, my family came through, just came in the door. So this is a situation for you where the Ten of Wands and the Knight of Swords is that, but they want to stop you in your tracks and be like, why would you do this, right? Then, like I was talking about, then there's the type of space where people are very ambiguous of what they mean when they say space, and it usually means, to those type of people who are dysfunctional and they play games, it usually means, and people who are not very good at communication, it usually means I want to break up, but they don't have the heart to say I want to break up, right? So what they do is that they put it nicely by saying, we need I need some space, we need to take a break, type of thing, which is essentially a breakup. So they could just, I mean, they could just say that. They could just be like, "Hey, what's going on with you?" You know, if they're getting bored or they don't like you or whatever the case may be. And like I said before, this is why it is that we have those types of this is why I practice the way that I do. But you know, a lot of people not going to listen to it. It's going to fall on deaf ears because of the certain practices that I do. Because a lot of people get offended based upon, you know, the way that modern day dating is, you know, and what's moralistic, even though I'm doing what works, what has been proven to work, okay, based off of studies, facts, a long line of bibliography, you know, records, references, you know, and a lot of people just talking about, you know, hearsay and things of this nature and just talking and what they conject and all this other type of stuff. So, and a lot of cats don't have a lot of lived experiences and have the ability to back up all the things with evidence. So, anyway, that's tough. It's a cold world, but that's why it is that you need to subscribe. So subscribe to the YouTube channel, comment, like, share the video. I'm trying to get this YouTube channel to 3,500 subscribers by the end of January. Um, Subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, and set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop these amazing videos. Peace.